I thought it was a ludicrous budget, and the market correctly said, you've got all these tax cuts, absolutely massive tax cuts. You've not specified how you'll match that with spending reductions, and indeed I think those spending reductions would be politically impossible and undesirable. So you're going to have to borrow a huge ton of money. If you want to borrow a huge ton of money, we're going to charge you a lot for it. That was absolutely predicted by Rishi Sunak over the summer, and it was a deeply irresponsible budget to have introduced.
Right, so now we have Prime Minister Sunak. He's been invited, been asked by the King, and he's taken the job. What's his priority?
Well, I'm sure his priority is to navigate through the current economic environment, the high energy prices, the high inflation. He's only got a certain number of degrees of freedom, and some of the heavy lifting of the return to sanity has already been done by Jeremy Hunt last week.
In Downing Street, just a few moments ago, he talked about the UK facing a profound economic crisis. There's a sense of reality in that sentence that we haven't heard before.
No, there is a sense of reality. There's some danger of almost overstating it. I mean, I think we will probably have very slow growth next year. We'll have high inflation. On the other hand, let's be clear, that inflation will fall out pretty quickly in the way that it came in, because when you have very large increases in energy prices, as long as they don't go up again, it falls out a year later. So I think we are in very, very tricky times. What I hope, however, is that over the next 2 years we also have a focus, by which I mean running up to the next election, we also have a focus on debating some of the long-term issues about how the UK has a more investment-driven economy and how we achieve a green transition.
Several people have commented, this is all very good, but the reality is hydrocarbons are going to be arguably the dominant power supply fuel for the foreseeable future.
No, not power supply, if you mean electricity. I mean, the UK by 2035, I think on the plans that we have and are deliverable, will be only getting 10 or 15% of its electricity from fossil fuels, from gas. It will be a system which by then will be 60% or so renewables and 15 or 20% nuclear. We know how to decarbonise electricity. Some of the other sectors, like industry, are more tricky, but if you ask me about electricity, I think the developed world is heading to almost entirely renewable and nuclear electricity systems faster than we thought even 5 years ago.
Take out power,
yep,
and put in transportation,
well,
put in industry.
Passenger EVs will happen faster than you think. Steel will decarbonise faster than you think. The development of green hydrogen around the world, we spend a lot of time talking at my commission with the steel industry. The interest in green hydrogen is far bigger than it was before. So look, I think there's a whole, and let's take sustainable aviation fuel. I think the plans for developing sustainable aviation fuel instead of conventional jet fuel are massively more advanced than they were 2 or 3 years ago. So look, we are not on target to limit global warming to 1.5 degrees, but sector by sector, actually, there's quite a lot of good stuff happening, and it's, if anything, accelerated over the last 6 months.
Back to the UK, the LDIs. Now, you know a bit about pensions.
Yeah.
Nobody could have foreseen this was going to happen. Well, I mean, I suppose,
well, look,
theoretical. Yeah. You could foresee it. But doesn't that just tell us that there's always going to be some financial instrument somewhere that could be a ticking time bomb?
Yes. I mean, the LDIs, highly leveraged instruments, which involve a form of derivative which will be a good hedge most of the time, and in extreme circumstances it will be a lousy hedge, or it will create very large collateral calls. Those always create instability. They always lurk there within the financial system. Here's the good news, though. After 2008, we put in place, in the core bits of the banking system, which is ultimately the commercial banks, much higher capital requirements and much higher liquidity. So I'm going to stick my neck out. We are not going to see a systemic financial crisis, anything like we saw in autumn 2008.